Following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
We have Mike from Chicago on the line, and he has a question about digestion.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
First of all, I just wanted to say that I love the show. I think it's great programming, and I'm very much of a like mind when it comes to, taking control of your own health and certainly doing your own research.
No, that's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. Hi, Paige.
Good morning, Nico.
You always have such a great smile. I love it. It's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater, folks. It's 79 degrees. It almost feels like summer again. You know, it's beautiful, and the skies are clear. So everybody's living a primal lifestyle, I hope. And this week we had a lot of information come to us by the way of the Gluten Summit. And if you want to look at the Gluten Summit, if you go down to on the TFNN page here and go to Living a Primal Lifestyle, that will lead you to my page, and then you go to Primal Resources. That'll lead you to where you can get a link of the summit right there. And they got a heck of a package here, Paige, because they've got over 50 or 60 hours of information.
Yeah, and my goal was to watch every bit of it, and it just wasn't possible.
Oh, no, it's
so
not.
chock-full.
No. I think I got through half of it, maybe.
Yeah, leading thought leaders in the area of disease. I mean, really, they've advanced health 5 years by bringing this up and, really looking at the ugly big elephant in the room, which is the middle of the grocery store, the packaged, processed, gluten.
And this is all they're talking about. I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing to me with all this information that's coming out and all the studies that these doctors all were talking about, that it's not blasted over the news and say, folks, we've got a way to cure most of the problems health-wise in America. Because that's exactly what we're talking about here, is that 99% of all the diseases are inflammatory diseases, and most of the inflammation comes from three sources. Three sources, one being gluten, one being high fructose corn syrup, and what's the other one?
Genetically modified foods.
There you go.
Yeah, and toxins, and once you create that situation, guys, where the gut lining has been damaged, what happens is your lining opens up with little holes, and then food particles of any type can escape, undigested food particles, bacteria, fungus, and so forth that we're exposed to get out and get free access to the entire bloodstream, as opposed to being eliminated through the efficiency of the bowel. So we got to restore that gut lining.
Yeah.
I am looking for something too. I posted something today on Facebook
about the leaky gut.
About the 9 symptoms of leaky gut.
Let's go over those.
Yeah, and what really I wanted people to jump out is what jumped out at me is the fact that gluten is the #1 cause of leaky gut, but there can be other foods and toxins. It can be dairy with certain people. It can be sugars and infectious organisms. But toxins come in the form of all medications, including NSAIDs like Motrin. And this is very dear to my heart, because someone that I love very much has been suffering very ill and been diagnosed, the diagnoses of failure to thrive as a result of, they didn't know for years. And it seems that now they've figured out that she has a gut issue that they are now saying, we think it's because of the NSAIDs you've been taking, but of course they insisted that she needed these. And we're seeing this in terms of the damage that's happening to the gut lining from acid-reducing protein pump inhibitors. We just do not need to mess with Mother Nature.
Yeah, because the gut really is a wonderful thing. It has all these little small areas where these small particles can come through. So this is how we get our nutrition. And what's happening with the leaky gut, of course, now the toxins are going in there.
The toxins are getting out in the body. So
and they go through the intestines, which gets into the blood. And now you've got the toxins in your blood. So you can see that progression, how that happens. I had a mild case of leaky gut for many, many years.
Myself included.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. And it was always said, well, you have a nervous stomach. And because it shows up when you're nervous, like before a test, or when I was in school, I didn't feel like going to school or something, like, man, my gut hurt, Interesting thing is, 2 weeks after I went on the paleo diet, It disappeared completely. Never had a problem since.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of people say, well, my doctor tested me for celiac disease and I don't have it.
Yeah.
Well, the point is this, is celiac disease is an advanced form.
Yes.
And yes, these people have had such severe gut lining damage that it may be unlikely that they'll be able to repair it and be able to absorb the nutrition that they need.
Yeah.
But there's many of us that are in that, I mean, probably as much as 90% of the population that has had damage due to these glutens and these toxins and these drugs and as a result the parasitical infections. I know that many of you that listen regularly have heard me refer to most dis-ease is related to or encouraged not only with the emotional components, and that's a very big part that I believe, but also with the infectious part. And the infectious part comes into play when the gut is leaky, there's damage to the gut lining, and these infectious agents. So, what are some of the signs that you have a leaky gut? And, when you listen to this, think about how many people you know who may not even claim or acknowledge that they have a leaky gut or would maybe even think that sounded ridiculous. But they suffer some of these things. Do you have seasonal allergies? Do you have hormonal imbalance, such as polycystic ovary syndrome, or just in general, your hormones are out of balance? First of all, you can't be healthy if your hormones aren't balanced. One of the main legs of the stool to getting balance. If you've been told you have an autoimmune disease, the autoimmune diseases are actually a situation where so-called the body is attacking itself. Now, there's some of us that really wonder if that's just not a good explanation, but the fact that the body's under serious attack and using all its resources to kill invaders.
Exactly. It has no resources left to heal.
I happen to subscribe to the belief that this body is, divinely designed and does not make mistakes, and that we, in fact, interfere.
I'd say that's probably 90% true, or maybe higher. I don't know.
Chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. That was what I experienced 5 years ago. The inability to even have pain, trying to unload my dishwasher to the upper cabinet.
That is fibromyalgia, yeah.
Yeah, and it was terrible, Ben. And what it was leaky gut.
Wow.
And since medicine doesn't typically acknowledge that unless you're at the advanced form of celiac disease, many people are suffering. So fibromyalgia is you're toxic. You've got a leaky gut, and you need to clean up your blood and your tissues and your gut.
Yeah.
Mood swings and mind issues. So, we've heard that the gut is our second brain, and also acne, skin rosacea issues is a sign. We when we're not able to process out toxins, the skin is often recruited to help with that. And if people are saying they have candida, well, I'll take candida a little farther, being that is kind of a fungal overgrowth. But my feeling is...
Yeah, but what lets the fungus in and live?
Well, candida, thrives in that environment of those open spaces in the gut lining.
Right.
And it's able to, because it has more of a kind of a tentacle-type shape. But my reality is, then people start going on this massive candida eradication protocols, and there are those of us that think perhaps candida overgrowth may in fact be saving your life because there may be toxic microbes that it is there. Candida does exist for a reason, imbalance. When it goes out of balance and overgrows, perhaps there is a unfriendly bug that it is helping to eradicate.
It's possible.
And there's a lot of belief that, sometimes it is actually helping to diffuse the effects of heavy metals. People have different thoughts, and then the final one is food allergies or food intolerances. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. And let me tell you what I learned that really sunk in during listening to this gluten summit. One of the things is that gluten is just kind of the perfect storm. It's going to...
The perfect poison.
Perfect poison. It's going to get you. It gets you very slow, but it may take 40 years before you even see the symptoms.
But there's a lot of profit that can be made from all those boxes and bags and packaged foods that contain gluten.
Yeah.
And you can never really, it's very stealth. You can't really point your finger and say it was your Twinkies.
Yeah. And one of the doctors actually was saying that if you started eating cereal at the age of 3, 4, 6 years old, even maybe 8, even 10 years old, and start eating breakfast like that, you're going to get cancer. It's 100% guarantee that you're going to be cancer when you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. That's pretty amazing.
And how many of us did? I was a cereal eater as a kid.
When my mother brought home that cereal, it freed her up.
Right. Well,
I tell the whole story where all of a sudden she goes, cleans the house, and here you go, kids.
And with
she used to fix us breakfast
with lots of color and happy little animals on it.
Yeah. And then you put sugar on it because it tastes like crap.
But then on top of that, you know, you'd eat your bowl of cereal and there'd be this much milk left, so you'd fill it up so you could...
Oh, yeah. That's true, yeah. That's right. Eat a little more. And then you're hungry after 2 hours and you wonder what the problem is.
So I want you to be aware that we need to nurture our gut linings. And a lot of people say to me, well, how do I heal my gut? Well, sometimes it takes some time, but eliminate
But it can be restored, and that's the beautiful part about it. And one of our listeners in the chat room is asking, can it be restored? And I assume he's talking about the gut and our whole well-being. And yes, it can. People who are healthy, like Paige and I are, it takes a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden you feel that surge of energy, and things start going right for you.
It may take a few months.
And yeah, it may take a few months. It may take a couple of years, depending on where you're at. But yes, it will. Your body has a great ability to heal itself. And what you're doing when you start getting into a primal lifestyle is you're opening up that door where the healing begins.
Absolutely. And, you know, it is the fall season, so I, in light of the Gluten Summit, have been thinking very hard about some foods that I think are very healing. You know, incidentally, you know, Marshall, glutamine is a nutrient that is very powerful in helping to restore the gut. And you can take supplemental glutamine, and it's very useful when we're working. But obviously we've got to eliminate, you know, get rid of the things we don't need, add the things that we do need, add some glutamine-rich foods. You can Google that. I love cabbage. Let's look at the doctrine of similars. Let's look at the doctrine of signatures, you know, that creation gave us. You know, we're going to talk about one in a little while, the pomegranate, but let's look at the cabbage. The cabbage has layer upon layer upon layer. And the cabbage is a fall vegetable. It's a time of renewing and fortifying and clearing up the immune system. So my solution is, if you're in a nice cold climate, get that bone broth going, cut that cabbage up and eat some cabbage soup. If you don't have time to eat cabbage soup, you know, we forget it's a wonderful side dish, you know, sauteed. And, you know, don't be afraid of adding that butter, or maybe, you know, some lard grease or something if you like for flavor, you know, maybe some bacon bits or something. Well, enjoy your cabbage.
And the thing is, too, that you don't need much of this. You know,
well, cabbage. Remember cabbage juice as a bitters and so forth.
Fantastic stuff.
Cabbage soup, cabbage juice, the cabbage diet. Why? Why did it work so well? The cabbage diet, because it was clearing up the gut, and the body holds on to weight and inflammation. You know, when it's trying to heal itself of these invaders. So. I hope that's helpful, but let's all try and work on healing up our guts. And one of the best ways is to eliminate these inflammatory foods. No GMOs, no gluten, no gliadins, and that includes some of the other grains.
Yeah. And the phone number here, folks, is 877-927-6648. Go to my page, go to the resource page, and look at the Gluten Summit, and click on that, and you can buy the CDs, and there's hundreds of hours of listening there. $67, folks.
Yes, and we'll be talking about that over the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Join in.
Yeah, and we're coming back, and we're going to talk about some information that you listeners have sent us. We'll be right back.
You've heard Nico Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. Funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor, Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico and Paige here on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We have a couple of callers. I guess Charles dropped off, but we have Alan from Colorado. Hi, Alan. How you doing today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Alan, I hope you guys are doing okay.
We're doing fabulous.
I'm watching you on TV on my
great.
computer.
Nice.
Hey, I'm an incomplete quad for 7 years, and I've gained the ability to walk with a cane.
Oh, great.
And I've changed my diet, really have. I mean, I don't know if it's bad, but you were talking about cabbage.
Yeah.
Is canned sauerkraut bad for you?
No, it's
Sauerkraut
fabulous.
is an absolute. I should have said that, guys. When I was saying cabbage soup, I was thinking of warm soups, but sauerkraut, particularly if you go into your natural health store, and you can actually make it yourself very inexpensively. And there's instructions on how to make homemade sauerkraut.
Oh yeah, my mom used to make homemade sauerkraut, and then my wife was Korean, and she made kimchi.
Oh yeah,
know.
Kimchi and sauerkraut are tremendous. In fact, what we should do, to kind of follow 5-element eating, many of us are missing the bitter and the sour foods in our diet. We eat plenty of the, we eat some spicy and we eat some sweet, but we're missing.
We're eating a lot of sweet is the problem.
Right.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I butt in, how about taking a shot of vinegar?
Yeah, fine. Especially apple cider vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With
That's
the
what
mother.
I take.
With the mother in it.
Right.
Yeah, with all that stuff floating around in it. That's what you want.
Okay,
Definitely.
now I want to ask another question. I take about 60 to 90 10 milligrams of Percocet. Now, that's probably killing my liver.
It's definitely not good for it. It's it's a heavy narcotic for sure.
Oh yeah,
and it has some aspirin in it.
Pain. I'm in pain.
Yeah.
I mean, especially. We got snow on the ground right now, about 3 inches, and I can tell 2 days, before a storm that it's going to storm.
Of course.
Like I'm a barometer, built-in barometer in my body, but I get like cement in my legs. I can't move.
Yeah. Well, that causes inflammation, just the stress alone from that. And inflammation is what causes pain. So when we talk about removing pain from the body, you're going to try to remove inflammation from the body. So removing the inflammatory foods that we talk about, especially grains.
And that's a great point, because when you were talking, you were just asking about all these foods to eat to heal the gut. We were talking about the cabbage and the kimchi and the sauerkraut. The most important thing is to get rid of the things you don't need. My simple little philosophy, get rid of the things you don't need, get more of the things you do need, and reduce your stress. So, have you eliminated glutens and grains and those kinds of nightshades, even?
Yeah, it takes me about a month to eat one loaf of bread, and half the time I have to throw it out.
Yeah, I would eliminate bread completely.
How about brown rice?
Same thing. Any grain.
Eliminate it?
Definitely. You want to go to more natural food, which is animal food that is eating their natural food so they're not inflamed themselves. Remember, when animals eat corn and all these things that they're feeding them in these big feedlots, they're inflamed, and therefore we get the inflammation from them.
And then we're eating that inflamed.
And the cool thing, Alan, is that when you start doing this type of diet, you're actually going to reduce your food consumption, and you're going to have a high quality of food, and you're going to remove the inflammation as you go. So removing the grains and any sodas, anything like that, and then replacing it with some good animal food that in Colorado, you've got some major good sources of farms in the area that you can go to or get them to ship it to you, and you're going to find out you're going to eat less of that.
You're going to be more satiated, and you're going to be
you're going to be happy because all of a sudden you're getting the good fat. And the fat is not inflammatory unless
it's a bad trans fat.
Unless it's a trans fat, which the FDA just said that they're removing from our food consumption, supposedly.
I'm going to hold my breath on that.
Well, then me too. But it's a step in the right direction, even though it took them 85 years. 85 years ago, we knew this food was bad.
But Alan, let me just make a point here for you. Is that I heard what you said, and really to really allow the gut to heal and to really see the benefit of living a primal, paleo, ancestral, the continuum diet. If you can eliminate these foods, watch the Gluten Summit, since you kind of snowed in there. Really get this information of how they're implicating it in so many issues, especially pain, inflammatory situations.
I'm telling you, it's going to blow your mind.
Give yourself 90 days, and if you don't notice changes in the way you feel, you are more than welcome to reintroduce these foods.
I think, Alan, you're going to notice the difference much faster than a lot of people, because you're not going to have as much activity. So
can I ask a dumb question?
When we come back from a break, Alan, can you hold and we can get back to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Appreciate you holding, Alan. And also, Charles, if you're listening, please call us back after the break when we get through
we'll
with
take
Alan.
Questions today.
We definitely like callers to call in and explore what's happening. So the number is 877-927-6648. And while you're at it, pick up my newsletter. I'll be right back.
With over 3 decades of trading experience, Andy Hecht brings a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to each weekly issue of his newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report. The Technomental Commodity Report gives you Andy's unique technomental analysis of the commodities market, a combination of technicals and fundamental analysis which he has developed and perfected over his many years of trading. The Technomental Commodity Report is only $49 a month, and right now you can get a full month-long trial subscription while paying absolutely nothing. See for yourself the kind of weekly report Andy delivers to his subscribers every Thursday morning. You'll receive specific stock, ETF, and option trades based on Andy's analysis, so no futures account is required. For all the details and to start your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, visit TFNN.com today. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by BackTech Environmental. For more information, just click the BackTech banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. Nico here and Paige on Living a Primal Lifestyle. And we have a caller on the line, Alan, and we're talking about lots of stuff, how to clean up your act, basically. Alan, you still there?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm taking a sip of coffee, and that's one bad habit I have.
No, it's not bad if you put that butter in there and make it bulletproof.
I would say if you get organic coffee and put some butter in it, maybe some MCT oil or coconut oil in it, you've got something that not only will keep you satisfied for many times, keep you very alert because it's very good for the brain. It also is just full of anti-nutrients. I mean, full of antioxidants.
Put butter in coffee?
Oh, definitely. Shake it up or put it in a blender. Blend it up. It's like a frappuccino. You can add a little stevia to it or maybe a little honey, which I do in the afternoon. It's one of the world's perfect foods in a way. It's a fruit, first of all. The berries of the coffee plant are a fruit, and it's a very, very healthy fruit. Probably the highest in antioxidants than any other fruit. There is.
There's a lot of toxic coffees on the market. Many of them are oversprayed. So be wise. And, we actually drink Tiger Brew here. We talk about it all the time in the station. But, guys, we're not advocating avoiding eating your other healthy meals and living off of coffee and drinking, 2 pots a day. Again, it's balanced. But so we sure
only
hope
2 cups, you say. Cut it off at 2 cups.
2 or 3.
Yeah, everybody's. I only drink one, but then again, my 1 cup is probably.
Yeah, well, the thing that helps you.
I'm a trader, and I get up at 4 in the morning, and I'm watching the market.
Okay, then I would recommend having some coffee, and also having a breakfast maybe first, even. But having the coffee.
Now my breakfast is Cheerios. I get just Cheerios, and I allow myself.
So you got to start getting some bacon or sausage and eggs.
Sausage and eggs instead of my Cheerios.
Yeah, Cheerios is one of the worst things. First of all, it's made out of wheat. It's the most highly processed food in the world. Goes through several stages. It's extruded out, made into a liquid, and dried out. And the wheat that's been there probably been sitting in a silo for 5 years with the rats running over it and bugs. It's not a good food. It's not a food at all, actually.
Yeah, that whole wheat term is really another word for a junk food. It's very hard for us. I posted something too on Facebook. It's very hard to believe that today's nutritionalists are still recommending it. I actually have a diabetic relative, heart disease diabetic relative, whose registered dietitian has included healthy bread for him. Now, let's talk about it. Is there any sense in still eating bread with all of us that know? But, you know, I think it would be really great, Alan, if you would visit the website, Living a Primal Lifestyle, and go enjoy the Ancestral Foundation videos. I think you would really, you know, find out some information that I think would really make you feel good.
There's 40 or 50 videos on there that you can watch at your leisure when you're not trading or take a break from trading. You're going to get a lot of information that we're talking about that's going to, I mean, once you eliminate your breakfast cereal, which is one of the worst foods in the world, you're going to cut your inflammation in half just by doing that.
Yeah, see, I just eat it dry. I don't put milk in it or
Doesn't
sugar.
matter. It's the milk. If you have whole milk, it's even a little bit better. If you had raw milk in it, but if you're eating it dry,
you're not getting any fat.
Now,
you know,
what you're doing basically is eating the same thing as a Snicker bar. So it's going to give you the same benefits. It's going to give you a huge rush in your insulin, which automatically stops your fat burning. And now, all of a sudden, your body is so busy trying to get rid of this stuff that it's not healing itself. And you, above all, Alan, need to be healed.
We got an active chat room today.
Yeah, we sure do, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alan, well, good luck, and we're glad you joined us.
I'll
and
watch
listen.
some of the videos. My biggest downfall is ice cream.
Yeah, that too. I mean, if you eat whole ice cream and not the stuff that the fat is removed, get some real high quality ice cream and cut it down to 3 or 4 ounces and eat that. You're not doing too
Not
that
better
much.
off than Cheerios.
That's right. But what you're doing really too is you also keep spiking that insulin with your cereal and your ice cream, so you're going to crave these things, and these cravings will be gone afterwards.
Thank you, Jay. Jay in the chat room just said, tell Alan to get our newsletter, the best $10 ever spent.
There you go.
Yeah.
Click on and join us, and we'd like to hear how you're doing when you make some changes.
Please call us back in about 30 days once you've started this regime, and I hope you do that. And I think you're going to find the quality of your life is going to change immediately, and you're going to be one of the...
go to your website at TFNN and click it on and
click on Living a Primal Lifestyle, which is if you're on the website at TFNN, you go scroll down and you'll see that green Living a Primal Lifestyle, and hit on that and start roaming around the site.
Okay.
All
right.
Thanks
for your
so
call.
much for your call.
Nico, thank you.
See you next time.
Great
Charles
call.
is back.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Charles is back. Awesome. Charles, how you doing today?
Hey, guys. I can't stay on long because I'm working.
Okay.
But anyway, I've got a question regarding the leaky gut.
Yes.
What's everything and anything you can do to fix leaky gut? And I'll hang up and listen to your response on the archive.
Okay, great question. Thanks. Well, first thing is not what you do, is what you don't do. And, we stress it over again. The first thing you do is get rid of grains. And that might...
Maybe even better yet, get rid of GMOs. That's a great subset. Just if it's a GMO, don't eat it. If it's a gluten-containing grain, don't eat it. That includes rye, oats, and barley, folks. Those do include gluten, not as much. And rice. Rice doesn't have gluten. Well, wild rice does. Wild rice does.
Rice does.
But, however, they still have anti-nutrients.
Yes.
These are damaging to the gut lining. And by eliminating them, by nature, the style of this diet, you can start to repair the damage. The next thing you want to start doing is start looking at and work with a holistic practitioner or someone that can determine if, as a result of your leaky gut, do you have we all have bugs, right? Well, we have good bugs and we have bad bugs. Do you have enough good bugs? I would start looking at probiotic foods or probiotic supplementation. But we were just talking about some of the great probiotic foods: sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, tremendous food in healing. And, people that have been diagnosed with life-threatening Crohn's disease have restored their gut lining and achieved brilliant health by consuming kefir. Much broader spectrum of probiotic. In fact, I like to tell people, try and include a probiotic food with every meal. You buy your raw sauerkraut, on your dinner plate, you put a little bit of sauerkraut on the corner of your plate. It's like a couple teaspoons is all you need. Billions and billions of living stuff there. Yep. The glutamine, the cabbage soup, eliminate the infectious, imbalance in your body, and eliminate the offending foods. Yep. Exercise, breathe, move.
And we got a busy day here. We got another caller, but before we go to that, Danny from Atlanta is asking, can you post a link to these videos? Why don't you go to TFNN.com, then click on Living a Primal Lifestyle, which is down the green area down the side. Go to that, and you'll find the ancestral video link. And that'll take you to all of them. So that's the simple way of doing it. And we have another caller on the line, Monica from Orange, New Jersey. So let's talk to Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, how are you? I love listening to you. I have a quick question. I was diagnosed recently with all sorts of stomach issues, an ulcer, a hiatal hernia, GERD, and gallbladder disease, and there's very little I can eat at the moment. And some of the things you were talking about, I was wondering, would they be too, like acerbic, the cabbage, would that be still okay, or the vinegar that you talked about? I've avoided all vinegar. I've actually changed my whole diet, and basically all I eat is yogurt. And I'm sure the dairy is not good. And I do have the kefir, and I have started chlorella, which seems good. But there's just very little I seem to eat or be able to eat without having some pain.
Are you kind of following a primal paleo type diet, or do you eat a lot of grains or wheat?
Before? No, I hardly eat any grains.
Well, that's good, and you want to continue that heartily, because usually what we're seeing with ulcers, we're seeing an infectious agent. Did they diagnose you with Helicobacter pylori?
No, I don't have that.
Okay.
They don't actually know why. It's probably related to GERD and acid reflux.
And GERD and acid reflux is usually a result of low stomach acid. Not too much acid, and unfortunately our mainstream medicine has been taught how to sell billions of dollars worth of protein pump inhibitors, which I think is akin.
That's what I'm on, actually.
Yeah, I think it's kind of akin to, probably one of the worst,
really?
things
My
that
wife
we could do.
has had GERD for many years, and we started a regime of, first of all, of course, eliminating all those foods that we're talking about now, but then increasing her stomach acid by hydrochloric acid with pepsin in it, and kind of adjusting that around, and over about a 6 to 9 month period, she pretty much eliminated the GERD.
What comes to mind, Monica, if you can find a natural health practitioner in your area that can work with you and help you heal your gut lining. We talked a little earlier about glutamine supplements, cutting out the grains, cutting out the GMOs, cutting out the nightshades. And, the old tonic for digestive bitters, if you really research why we had bitter herbs to help stimulate digestive juices and bile flow, you would find out. There's also Manuka honey is something I'd like to see you look into. Manuka honey and gut and ulcer conditions are terrific. Mastic gum. And these are things that, please get a book. Go to Amazon when you hang up and get Dr. Jonathan Wright's book called Why Stomach Acid is Good for You. And what happens, why we die and have a life expand in our, in the 70s and not 120, is because we no longer produce hydrochloric acid. And most likely the stomach acid now, because you've got ulcerative condition, we've got to quell the fire a little bit. But once we can get your gut healed, we really need to help you have good digestive fire.
I was on hydrochloric acid all spring, though, and it happened within a month of my doing the hydrochloric acid, so it's kind of worrisome.
Okay.
Well, you probably need to lay off of anything right now. You probably had an infectious agent of some type, even though it wasn't Helicobacter bacteria. There's other infectious agents, and quite frankly, as we saw in that article that we were referencing earlier, you know, we are seeing more and more that these protein pump inhibitors. Have you taken a lot of pain relievers, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory agents?
No, I don't touch that. Yeah. But the cabbage that you were talking about, you could actually juice cabbage, right? And that would be good for you.
Yes.
For everyone.
Yes. And, you know, again, like I was talking about, if you look at it, it's layer upon layer. We get a new gut lining every 3 days. But we also know that if we don't have the right frequency to heal, then, you know, we don't make good cells. And I learned that from, you know, one of my mentors. So we've got to look at getting the good voltage, getting your feet out in the ground and charging yourself so you get electrons to help, you know, foster building new good cells. And but I really do think at your age, I mean, you know, I would really think that what we've got is a fermentation happening in your stomach that's causing the reflux versus a situation of having too much stomach acid. We want stomach acid. It's what keeps us young. It's what keeps us digesting. It keeps our blood disinfected. So I really hope you can work with someone personally to help you monitor.
And if you go to the Ancestral Foundation videos on my website, livingaprimal-lifestyle.com, you'll find several talks on this subject. And I think this will help you. Also, you can reach Paige or myself at Nico or Paige at TFNN.com, and we can send you some direct links to some information that may help you.
And I will work with clients at a distance. If you don't find someone that you want to work with in your local area, I'll be glad to help you with this.
Okay, great. I have one last question. I know dairy is bad, right?
No.
But it's not bad. Okay, so I can eat yogurt and not worry about it too much?
Well, the thing is the quality of what you're getting.
So when I say dairy is not bad, no, it's what kind of dairy are you having. And again, you can eat too much yogurt because what are you doing? You're getting the same probiotic, which is primarily a lactobacilli, which, you know, is good. Kefir is a much more diverse form. So I would like to see you rotating your probiotic. And, you know, the idea of the cabbage, you know, a little bit of raw sauerkraut. If you actually buy raw sauerkraut and make your own, it will not taste as vinegary, although I think vinegar would be really good for you. It actually encourages...
Yeah, have you tried apple cider vinegar?
I've been a little bit worried that might burn or sting, but since I've been on the PPI 3 months, I should probably try.
Yeah, you know, you got to try these things over. My wife, you know, we were fiddling with it. At first she was taking a lot of acid. That was working. Then all of a sudden it wasn't working anymore. So then she's, you know, I keep telling her, you know, when you have the problem, all of a sudden that's a sign saying you need to do something. So, you know, we go back and forth where if she doesn't feel right one day, I says, take a pill. Take a little acid, and then all she says, in a half hour she feels better, and you know you kind of forget what you're doing. So, but you know it could be 6 pills, it could be 1 pill, might be enough. So you kind of have to regulate it, but that's not the only answer either. So.
Well, again, I think because of her active ulcer situation, I want her to be a little careful. Please, you know, contact me if you'd like to. You know, the mastic gum and manuka honey are very effective in helping to cure ulcers that might be of other.
And licorice, too, right?
Licorice is very good for healing the diglyceride.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're on the right track. I hope you'll work on that. And
thank you so much.
Oh, thanks so much for calling. Monica. Really appreciate it, Monica.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Well, you know, this has been fantastic. With you know,
we
really
love
when we get callers, of course, because you know, then we're interested in you know what your questions are.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, but we would just as soon abandon it if you guys have feedback. This is your show. We're here to help you. Yeah. We're here to help each other.
Yeah, and we got a couple of things in the chat room we're going to talk about in the last segment. So please stick around. Please pick up the Health Signals newsletter. You're going to get all this information in there, folks. And I can't stress enough how to go to my page and look at the ancestral videos, and also go to that a gluten summit and pick up those CDs.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I love it.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Paige Clarke, and I'm here with Nico Haan, and we're finishing up our segment here of Living a Primal Lifestyle, and we really appreciate your questions. A couple things that were coming up in the chat room. There's this overwhelming idea that dairy is bad. I don't believe all dairy is bad, and maybe if you do your research, you might come to the same conclusion. If you do want to include dairy in your diet, I think the best way to have dairy is raw. Find a local farmer in your area that has either raw dairy, and perhaps you might even want to look at the health benefits of goat milk as opposed to cow's milk. I also like cultured and fermented dairy. And we were talking a little bit about yogurt. A lot of the yogurts people are buying in the store are, again, highly processed and suspect as to how much living probiota might still be there. Yeah. I really like people when they start making their own yogurts.
Or find somebody in your area that's making it. We have one guy, Yanni, down the road from us that makes his own. He's got the culture. He's had this culture for 20 years.
Well, and that's beautiful. I have some kefir grains that are actually from Georgia, Russia.
Oh.
So they're a very, and then all you do is simply, it's like you have little babies, and you just take your little kefir grains and you put it in your 8 to 16 ounces of your milk source, and I do like raw milk, and then I make my own kefir. But they do have, some great kefirs in the stores. I also like a product called Good Belly. You may be able to find it in the refrigerator section. This is not a dairy-based cultured beverage, and they have a coconut kefir made from coconut water. I really like that. It has a very unique strain of probiotic called SV299, I think it is. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyways, you'll recognize it if you look on the label. I like including that. I like, as I said, including probiotics as much as you can in fermented foods. So that said, we're going to maybe put some links. I happen to have a kefir-type beverage from one particular company that I use. You can buy it, get it shipped, and we're going to probably put a link up on the website because it comes from an ancient breed of cows, of which the cows in this country are 90% of the cows in this country are of one breed type, and that might be associated with the inflammatory responses so many people experience, whereas this is more of an ancient breed. So we'll share that with you all. Thanks for all the questions in the chat room.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things too, diversity is a huge thing in food. So if you're eating the same darn thing every day, start branching out and investigating some of these types of food that we're talking about, and change them now and then. You don't want to be eating the same thing all the time.
Be a forager.
Yeah.
In this modern, in this modern world, exactly. So if we're eating the same foods over and over again, our body can get excesses, or it can just start to view it as, could this be a threat? I'm getting too much of it.
Yeah. And, you know, remember, we're big into animal food, so, and one of the things, and I've had...
But we're not into huge quantities of animal foods.
No.
That's what
you
something
don't need a lot.
Right.
You know, our diet basically is high fat, really good quality fats, usually from animal sources or saturated fat.
I like, you know, I like avocado. I really love the avocado.
I mean, but what I'm saying is that you've got to get over the phobia of fat. You just got to eliminate the bad fats.
That's right.
And, you know, this is our fuel. And the other fuel is the inflammatory fuel, which is sugar. It's highly inflammatory. It's what's causing all the problems, and it's not just in the sugar form.
Well, the other inflammatory fuel is the bad oils. So, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, the vegetable oils, the imposters to the real, true fats that are, you know, that come designed, that our body recognizes them as food. These clear bottle, you just go down any oil store at a traditional grocery store, and it's just disgusting to see these aisles of vegetable oils in these cheap, clear plastic bottles. Rancidity has already occurred. These are rancid before you even open them. And then yet people keep them in their pantry for 6 months, and they're even farther. So, you know, there you go.
Yeah, no, it's not Yanni the musician. Peak was, that's funny, that's a good one.
What was that?
Yeah. Okay, folks, that's the show this week. And
thanks for interacting with us. We love that. It makes it fun.
Yeah, and you know what to do? Is to go out in the forest someplace and sit around and say to myself, okay, what could I eat here? And you'll find it's usually an animal or a snake or a bug or a worm or something like that instead of the leaves on the tree and the bark. Folks, we'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.